So I know you do believe in emotional intelligence, and I've listened to a lot of things you've said about it, and I believe strongly in it. I also believe that biologically, some people just don't have the capacity for emotional intelligence. Like they're strictly just numbers people. And do you think everyone has the capacity for emotional intelligence or could learn it if they were exposed to ideas?
It's a really interesting question. So first of all, my job is not to have opinions about these questions, right? My job as a social scientist is to ask, what are the best data and what do they tell us, and try to synthesize from evidence. I think the data would tell us a couple things. Number one, there is genetically heritable component of emotional intelligence and a biological component of it, similar to cognitive ability, where, some people are born with a heightened capacity to recognize emotions, to understand them, to manage them. And I think it also seems to be the case that it's a little bit more learnable and malleable and teachable than cognitive ability is, right? So it's pretty hard to wake up somebody who's really bad at math and say, we are going to turn you into Einstein in a month, right?
Yes.
It is more likely that you take somebody who is emotionally stunted and teach them how to recognize facial expressions. Teach them, for example, that there's a difference between authentic and fake smiles, where you see the crow's feet or the wrinkles or crinkles in the corner of your eye. The smizing, as Tyra would say, in the real smile, but not in the fake smile. And they could study those cues. They could learn them. They could improve their ability to recognize emotions. You could teach them a bunch of strategies for managing their emotions. Like, if they got really upset after a work call, you could teach them, look, there are at least two effective techniques for managing intense emotions like that. One is distraction. Go do something else that resets your mood. The other is reappraisal. Try to reframe what happened and realize maybe it's not me, it's not you, it's us. This is a property of my relationship with these people. And it's a dynamic that we have evolved into because of our personalities that's hard to undo at this point. And maybe you don't feel as bad about that as if you think that they are, insensitive humans, or, you were delusionally optimistic, right? And you could practice those skills. You could rehearse them and get better at that aspect of emotional intelligence. And I think if we break down the skills, we can teach each of them. But I wouldn't expect somebody who's, emotionally unskilled to become an emotional genius overnight either.